Islamism. Praise Allah. I shall open us up with Moorish American prayer. Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation, by night and by day. Through His holy prophet, Drew Ali. Amen. First, all rise and give Him perfect praises to Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Honors to all the divine prophets, Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, and Confucius. Honors to all the minor prophets, all the prophets that have not been mentioned. Honors to Prophet Noble Drew Ali, the prophet's choice for the people to redeem man from his sinful and fallen stage of humanity back to the highest plane of life, with the assistance of Allah. Honors to Brother Marcus Messiah Garvey Bay, the forerunner of Prophet Noble Drew Ali, which is the Jesus return. Prophet Noble Drew Ali, his forerunner is John the Baptist return, Brother Marcus Messiah Garvey Bay, the founder of 1914, the Universal Negro Improvement Association, 1914 UNIA. Honors to all the past and present leaders of the Moorish Science, future leaders of the Moorish Scientific America. Honors to all the past leaders of the UNIA, 1914 AD. Honors to all children who have the mothers and fathers pave the way for them to be Moorish leaders in this day and time. Praise Allah for all those things. Today's show is Stay Alert. Whether you want to accept what's going on and how they are constantly putting the truth in front of our faces with different cartoons and different TV shows and things like that, it really makes you want to second guess certain things. And you cannot say you did not know, but you still following the trend of the European colonists, slaveholder who came from Europe, and all of a sudden now they want to tell you that through falsehood and indoctrination and institutionalized and brainwashing the common people to think that the food pyramid is what it's truly all about. And knowing Asiatic people cannot follow a former European diet because, number one, Asiatic, so-called Negro, blacks, and colors, Latino, Chicano, Hispanics, and Asiatics do not follow that because we already get our vitamin D from the sun. We get our vitamin D just by stepping on the grass. We get our nutrients just by touching the tree. We get our powers by everything that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created, everything and ever was and ever more to be. We channel our energy based upon what's around us. Sometimes it's sluggish, sometimes it's not. Depending on what frequency you're vibrating under, your energy and powers can be abstracted from you. You ever realize you go into a specific area, store, or a specific town, city, whatever, and you notice that you feeling a little lethargic, you're feeling a little drained, you're feeling a little uneasy. That's because the Lucifer's power is in that area. And what's really going on is that we don't understand where the energy is being channeled from to be able to interrupt its frequency. Because if we got frequencies all over the place. Now, if you're surrounded by things that's of positive high frequency, then that means that you are constantly in tune with a higher vibration. There's parts of the United States of America, of the different states, and there's different vibrations that tend to either work with you or don't work with you. You ever go into a specific room and there's a certain stench and smell that you smell, and maybe nobody else smells it, but you smell it and it's very foul? Maybe someone urinated in the corner. Hey, I went to Century 21 back in the day, and man, every time I go to Century 21 with my family members or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I'm always smelling that urine smell. I don't know if they smell it, but I smelled it. It was foul. Now, Central 21 was a realtor place where you go see property and stuff like that, and people who are searching to buy a home or things of that nature. But you also have to take into consideration that what you're eating is also European poison, because the European powers that be are the ones who decide what you're eating is healthy and which one is not. And all in all, I just think that a lot of people are awakening, and there's a lot of people who just straight stay stagnant. The Bible teaches us Moorish Americans and Christians, or whoever it is that reads this Bible, Masons, Eastern Stars, Luciferians, and all this other stuff, understand that a man thinketh, so it is. So when you understand that when a group of people decide to dictate to the other people where they're going to live, and all they're hearing is negative music and negative energy, then your children consume that negative energy and they tend to act out. Is it their fault? No. It's the environment. Okay, so now the question is, what happened? Why is this place so haunted? You see what I'm saying? Why is this place full of negative energy? You ever go to certain parts of the world like Southside Chicago, Colorado, and different parts of the states, and you sense all this negative energy from North Carolina all the way to the south, and you know what I mean, in New York, you start feeling all this negative energy. It's because the simple fact that it was a horrifying situation that's being covered up by the elite. And whether people know it or not, lynching still goes on. Mainly in different parts of the world, the South, California, New York, etc., all over the 50 states. Now, we have to learn these things for a reason, because why is it that we're talking about things in a... let's see who we got. PTO Islam Heaven High, yeah. I don't know what Nick put in the chat, but Islam Heaven High, I see you commenting. But you gotta be careful to stay in your lane, because there's things you see that other people may not see, and sometimes it's just best to just keep silent. So when you come and meet or emerge with someone else who's under that same vibration, you can talk to them about it. But not everybody is going to accept what you're saying. You have to understand that sometimes you gotta look at the energy and what the person is speaking about, and see if it really aligns with what you're talking about, or if it aligns with what you're thinking. Now, if people say, you know, oh, the Jewish people, they're not doing nothing to the black communities or whatever, they have nothing to do with the redlining, and they have nothing to do with where you have a choice to work and all this other stuff. Last I checked, my pops had to, when I was younger, my pops had to drive an hour to get to work. And then you have to drive an hour to get back. This is what they call a red line. This is where they pick and choose who they would like to work for them and stuff. And even though you may have the degrees and qualifications, there's a strong chance that you're overqualified. So you have to, can't always be so outspoken, because some of the information you may speak on, you have to understand that there's people watching. You have people who appear to be a certain way, and all around the underground agents. These same agents are the ones who shut down the Black Panthers, the White Panthers, and you know what I mean, and all these other organizations that has something to do with uplifting people, like this group organization that they formulated in Crenshaw Bone Hills Mall, last I checked. It's called Sweet Street. It's supposed to be uplifting the community and teaching children music and another positive way out. But the people who run Crenshaw Bone Hills Mall, the Jewish community of the Synagogues of Satan, they're the ones saying they didn't want it. So we had to petition to get all this stuff, and they were on blast on the news. And no matter what, they put in, instead of feeding the minds of children to do something positive and productive with yourself, they decided to put in a buffet to fatten yourself up and all sorts of stuff. So Shay, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know who you call him, little bro, but you must be talking about somebody else. Tough? I don't know what you're talking about. You're not tough. You must be, I don't know what you're talking about. But it's all about perception. It's all about what's going on. See, the problem is, I'm going to tell you something about so-called Negro blacks and colors. Negro blacks and colors are so quick to tear each other down and look and give each other the mean look, and not really take a chance to get out and get a chance to know somebody. But I'm going to tell you this much. The reason why we're so divided is because of what happened during the so-called slavery that's going on. The slave masters would meet with other masters and had them fight amongst each other. And light skin versus dark skin, house slave versus field slave, whatever. Right? So what's happening is that the brain and neurons is sitting in your head with a fluid of water. Water is what retains memory, right? So if water retains memory, that means that this application of thought of negative energy is being passed down from generation to generation amongst the so-called Negro blacks and colors all over this nation in the USA. And then what happens is that the people take that same negative energy that happened during the time of slavery and bring it into modern day society. Now, the Civil Rights Act of 1864 was supposed to somehow bring the unity between, for so-called black people to have jobs and all this stuff. And all it is would just destroy our people. The crack pandemic, whatever you want to call it, has brought division amongst the people. We didn't need police because we policed ourselves. We didn't need to give loans from the bank because they didn't want to give our people loans. We did it ourselves. But so-called Black Wall Street, where the word black according to science means death, brought tension to the so-called white people, and they're the ones who terrorized these so-called black communities and buried it and set fire to all these businesses and stuff like that. Now, these are these crooked European so-called white people who done this to so-called Negro, blacks, and colors. But I guarantee you, they did not destroy the land that the Prophet Noble Drew Ali got in Chicago, Illinois, which is still standing to this day. Prophet Noble Drew Ali got land and has not been burned down. Europeans already know that Moorish science, Temple of America, is hands off. But all in all, we lost our state of mind by mimicking and acting as the colonist Europeans. But we choose to stay alert of and asking questions why our nationality has been taken from us, why our religion has been taken from us, and why must we accept this religion that belongs to the Europeans. I don't care what information you get that's been indoctrinated that says Ethiopia has not been colonized. Well, I beg to differ. The original name of Ethiopia was called Abyssinia. If you look at the flag of Abyssinia, then the flag has changed to another flag. Now, the only flag that has not been changed was the Moorish flag, because it's a red flag with a 5-pointed green star in the center. 5 points represent love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. The word Ethiopia in Greek means burn face. Who's burn face? Our face don't burn. We just have different shades of skin of olive hue melanin. You know what I'm saying? Because our ancestors are here and abroad in Asia and etc. North, Central, South America, the adjoining islands, Puerto Rico, Guam, etc. But you have to take into consideration that there's no other group of people who suffer mental slavery like we do. When the person's name, or should I say when the person's national name changes, state of mind changes. Because now the people are no longer operating under that old-time religion capacity. See what I'm saying? So when you see a person acting unruly or acting like these sisters acting like Jezebels or should I say Isabel, because that's the true name of Jezebel, is Isabel, because there's no J in Hebrew. You know what I'm saying? Isabel is her name. It's also like that in Spanish as well, or Latin. Once you start seeing King Herod, and you see no one wants to honor him, and he'll kill anybody on sight, that's the same thing you see in modern day Crips and Bloods gangbanging. It's just history repeating itself. When you understand the conditions that history repeats itself, then you can understand where do you stand and why you and your ancestors have fallen during the time of slavery of modern day Jim Crow. The red line, talking about where you can live at. And you can attend this school, you can attend that school, but you can't attend that school. See, that's slavery. You're working to earn minimum wage. Well, why aren't you not earning the maximum wage if there was duality? Well, the maximum wage is, I'm going to tell you what it is when you get paid salary. And that salary has a cap. Not the word cap in slang, no, not that cap. It means there's a freeze on certain income you can make. Whether you go to work or not, you still make the same amount of money, right? Whether you do overtime over 20 hours, you're still getting paid the same amount. So how are you winning if you're getting paid the maximum wage, but there's a cap, salary cap on top of that? But I thought the Bible also teaches us that the wages of sin is death. See what I'm saying? The wages of sin is death. Black, according to science, means death. The wages that you're working for is slave labor. Your slave labor is what is creating you to lose the gumption to live a longer lifespan when you always working, but still you don't have time to spend time with your spouse, your loved one, husband to wife, wife to husband, your beloved children, because you're always at work. I had a brother tell me straight up, and I saw him. He told me one day. He said, "I work on I live in another state. I work out here, and now all of a sudden, now my wife wants to divorce me because I'm making all this money." See, and now I don't get time with my wife because now I'm spending more time at work. Well, what does that tell you, family? That going out and chasing the money and lusting after the money or the paper monopoly fiat currency, which has no value, is the root of all evil. Money cannot bring you back to life. Your job cannot, your government pension cannot bring you back to life after you've been slaving. You go and get a car, the most expensive one, but yet still you gotta struggle every single month to pay light, water, gas, trash, and you gotta pay, what's the other one? Or mortgage, or a lease, or you gotta pay monthly insurance, or you gotta pay that car note every month. So now who's winning? The rich just take more, and the poor and middle class just take less. You're getting taxed on your wages, but all it's going to do is lead you to working to your death till you part. You got to think about it. How many marriage contracts do you have? Right? How many marriage contracts do you have? And this is all about staying alert. And this is what I said on my previous shows, if you rewind back, because I got like 500 shows. But I don't do that because I have to step back and I have other things that I have to do in order to continue to live within my means. Not above my means, but within my means or below my means. Why go buy a new car when I can go and get a used car and fix everything up on there, and it's just like me just putting money into a new car, right? Why get liability insurance when the other person may not be liable and you're losing? Why don't you think and get uninsured motorists and liability? Beloved brothers and sisters out there, you don't think about that, do you? You just want to get the cheapest insurance so that way you can stay within law. It's not law. That's just incompetence. My beloved family, you're not thinking. Prophet Noble Drew Ali said it best. If I can't save you, then no one can. But if I can get you to think, you can save yourself. Now, what is it that you have to run after what the rich people have, the haves, and you have not? Why are you chasing after their dreams when you can't even clean your mind up? You look good on the outside, brothers and sisters. Teeth may be clean, hygiene may be clean, I don't know. But you're chasing after something that you cannot even uphold a lifestyle that you dream in. And now you got you a Jaguar and you in the hood. Just because you drive a fancy car doesn't make you rich. It just means that you're foolish with your money. You're not thinking. You're gonna worry about what everybody else think about you, but you worry about chasing their ideas and what they feel about you, but you're not worried about loving yourself. But if you have all this luxury, we love you. If you don't have this luxury, you're down low. I'm gonna give you a prime example. One day I was driving in a Cadillac. I was in the hood. These heads started turning when I got out the Cadillac. But if I drive a Honda, I'm not getting the same attention. You know why? Because these Jezebel women are chasing after luxury. If you drive a Cadillac, which is a gas saver ever, so you live in to impress the opposite sex who just wants you just for the luxury. Not for your mindset, not your heart, none of that. All you want to do is just be like leeches. Be like pigs in a barn, just greedy. If you could just step back and look and observe and listen to how people talk and how they're so quick to draw so much attention to themselves, you begin to see what kind of person they are. Now the question is, do you really want to be involved with that person? First and foremost, hygiene is everything. If you don't have a good hygiene, you don't have a good diet. It all runs together. It runs together like a horse and carriage. This, I tell you, brother, you can't have one without the other. Try to separate them with this solution. Ask the local gentry, and they will say it's elementary. Well, enough said with that. Frank Sinatra already said it Sunday best. You gotta really I find it very odd that a lot of people have been indoctrinated after all these years, and yet and still, the information that my brothers and sisters out there, the so-called Negro, Blacks, and Colored, Latino, Chicano, Hispanics, are being deprived of, is the number one thing, is nationality and culture, and learning duty of a husband. Chapter 22. Take upon thyself a wife, and obey the ordinance of Allah. Take upon thyself a wife, become a faithful member of society. Fix not suddenly on our present choice depends on future happiness. That part. Forget the boyfriend, girlfriend. Screw that. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care what none of y'all say about boyfriend and girlfriend. There ain't no relationship. You act like you're playing games. Yeah, still, you want to act like you're in a relationship. You want to play in a sandbox. A man, a child, does childish things. When a child becomes a man, thinking, right? Man puts away those childish things. As a child, I did childish things. When I became a man, I put away childish things. So that already debunks boyfriend, girlfriend right there. Straight up. I don't know if my brothers and sisters out there are really thinking, but does it ever hurt to be in a friend zone? That's what marriage between husband and wife is. It's friendship. So, if you don't have friendship, then your relationship is just darnel. You're just a pretender. And you're not living life capacity to the fullest. You're just doing what everybody else do. Oh, well, he got his girlfriend this car, and he got his girlfriend that stuff. How come you don't do it for me? Folly. Folly. Anytime a woman starts talking about Louis Vuitton and all sorts of stuff, you're already dealing with a gold digger. You're already dealing with someone who's materialistic. Turn that free from her. If she talking loud and her tongue goes from tongue to tongue, and she is adore herself with adornments of fashion, turn that free from her. What you do? I don't know about y'all, but I'm living my lifestyle to the fullest. I'm eating right, thinking right. I have my cheat days where I have a burger every now and then, but it's all about perception. A man thinketh, so it is. You cannot serve two masters, family. You don't love one, hate the other. Point blank, plain and simple. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. It is what it is. My brothers and sisters, you gotta do some thinking for yourself. You can't go by what everybody talks to you about. If you do not check the reference on based upon what the person has said, then you're just as bad as a person who spits a rumor. You're subservient to someone else's thinking. And this goes on whether it be the synagogues of Satan, the masjid, the mosque, whatever religious organization you may be with. You're not thinking, family. Absolutely not. But it's all about what you think. If 2 plus 2 is 4 and someone keeps telling you 2 plus 2 is 5, there's something wrong with that picture right there. It's just like saying black people exist and the black man is the original man. I don't know who told y'all the barefaced lie. Maybe Elijah Muhammad told you that. Maybe Master Farah Muhammad told you that. Maybe some European told you that. I don't know. But where do the black people come from and where is their nation at? Where is the so-called white people from? And where is their nation at? Can you name any of these group of so-called races of people? So-called black people, so-called white people, Latino, and Pacific Islander. Can you name one flag? National flag that has a constitution, that has military, that has laws. And this is why I have this show today, family, about staying alert. You got to. Study the facts for yourself. Go look in a law dictionary. Go study nationality. Now I know there's 2 flags so far that so-called represents black people, but then again it's a misnomer. Jamaica and Kenya. Right? Where do these people come up with these diabolical ideas? Are you truly sure that this information? So, I don't know where you get your information from. I don't know if you can prove this information that based upon what you told about black and white and Latino is true. You can't prove it, can you? You know the word black is adjective, just like the word white is adjective. It's a description. It describes a person, maybe place, maybe thing, maybe idea. Well, the only people I know who are black, according to etymology, is a European. Pale. Dead. Those are the true black people. The black flag already starts off where it says. In Europe. Right? The true white people are on continents where they have sometimes 4 seasons, sometimes don't. Islands, North, Central, South America, etc. If you look at the group of people who have good hospitality, and a lot of them are melanated, and a lot of them are not melanated, some of them are pale skinned, but they're not Europeans. These people are the same ones who are the white people. Not based upon skin complexion, because skin complexion does not determine a person's attitude. A skin complexion just determines whether the person is pale or not. It has nothing to do with demeanor. It has nothing, and this is what gets me. I've witnessed the aftermath of someone getting robbed in Riverside County. And this so-called Latino Jew was a getaway guy in the back of the store. This Caucasian, European, so-called white person got a fish net full of groceries and put it in a basket and walked right out. And you know what this so-called Latino manager said? Oh, I didn't think he was going to steal anything. Wow. So we're still practicing this modern day slavery of Jim Crowism, that what Mr. so-called white man is not going to steal anything from the store, but Mr. Black man will steal something from the store, based upon the color of their skin, but not by the content of their character. Do you y'all draw what I'm saying? Just because a person has a tattoo doesn't make them a bad person. It just means that they just love tattoos. Call it what you want. So, Brother Man Moore's life is just exposing things that I've personally experienced. And this is why I say, stay alert, family. Y'all still practicing that modern day slavery that's going on. But guess what? It's all over with. The gig is up. I'm going to be telling y'all a story about different truth and everything. But I don't think y'all are going to be ready for it. That's all I can say to y'all. You ain't going to be ready for it. When you take in consideration that you want to change, it's not too late. Don't think because you're a Mason and you're black, so-called, you're saved and you're a Christian. I had someone tell me straight up that they're a Mason and they're a Christian minister. Yep. And that's what truly happened. So you take this information, wrong with it, you study. And when you do those things, remember what is being said in these live shows, family. Because right now, I got things to do. Always. tell y'all something about these Jezebel women. They look good. They got their toes did. They got their fingernails done. They got their hair did, and the hair is not even looking like real hair. Leave them ones alone. All they are is just sisters who just hate themselves. They don't even know who they are. They want to be like European women with that long hair. And all they do is glue it. All they doing is glue in their hair to pull the scalp out. And got bald spots everywhere after pulling that weave out. It's not cute to me. I've seen it done before. It's not cool. Trust me. But all in all, family, y'all gotta stay alert. Ain't nothing wrong with having a good hygiene. Ain't nothing wrong with looking good for yourself. But always remember, human trafficking is on a high right now. And I'm going to tell you what I know. They want organs. That's what they want, family. They want the organs. So every time you want to be an organ donor, you're a mark to be abducted. And all the torture you see, all the stuff you see regarding Hostel and all of that, oh yeah, can't run from that. So if y'all got y'all driver's license, I suggest y'all take the donor off, because you're the next in line. And there's a lot of people who may end up missing, and they can't even keep body count for where everybody's missing now. Underground tunnels go all the way down towards New York, and you get there in less than an hour. Matter of fact, Hugh Humphrey, the one who's the founder of Playboy, you get to Buck Day's house in New York. It's not that far. What should I say? The Palace and Mansion or whatever. But y'all chasing too much of what Beyonce is gonna do. You're trying to look like them, and all you're doing is just setting yourself up for sexual harassment. And then when you're showing all that flesh, when a man gives a compliment and is lusting after you, you can't blame him, because you're the one with the problem. You advertising yourself like it's a commercial, and you have nothing to offer a husband. You can't even cook, clean, or sodas to keep your relationship going. And I'm gonna be honest and say that much. Y'all have no idea. You think you do, but you don't. You young people out there, y'all really need to get yourself together. Stop chasing these clubs, stop chasing these dudes, stop trying to get a baby daddy and all this other stuff, and then stop trying to get that welfare check. Because you don't have to prove everything that you're doing. I do not show pity to anybody who tries to manipulate other people. That's what I see. But I'm hoping y'all take heed to what I'm saying to y'all. And y'all gotta stay alert and stay in your lane. So, with that being said, I'm gonna close this out with the Lord's American prayer. Allah, the Father of the universe, Father of love, true peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, my salvation.